Hello, and welcome to Softer. This is Mara Morales. Welcome back to Softness in Action. This week, we're exploring self-compassion in real life. We've given ourselves permission to have difficult days. We've reminded ourselves that rest doesn't have to be earned. And today, I'd like to talk about something that can quietly steal our peace: comparison. It happens so quickly. You open your phone and see someone celebrating a promotion. Someone else is buying a beautiful home. A friend is traveling somewhere you've always wanted to visit. Someone seems healthier, more successful, more confident, more organized. Their children seem perfectly behaved. Their marriage looks effortless. Their kitchen is spotless. And suddenly, a perfectly ordinary day in your own life begins to feel inadequate. Nothing actually changed. Your life is exactly what it was 5 minutes ago. But comparison changed the way you saw it. Comparison has a way of turning someone else's joy into evidence that we're somehow falling behind. But life isn't a race. There isn't one timeline we're all supposed to follow. There isn't a finish line where someone announces who lived correctly. We're all moving through different seasons, with different circumstances, different responsibilities, different opportunities, different challenges, and different definitions of what a meaningful life looks like. Think about a garden. A rose doesn't look at a sunflower and wonder why it isn't taller. A lavender plant doesn't feel unsuccessful because the tulips bloomed first. Each grows according to its own rhythm, its own season, its own nature. Maybe we could offer ourselves the same grace. Someone else's success doesn't mean you're failing. Someone else's beauty doesn't diminish yours. Someone else's happiness doesn't mean that there's less happiness available for you. Someone being further along doesn't mean you're behind. It simply means they're somewhere different. Today's small act of kindness is this. Notice when comparison appears. Don't criticize yourself for it. Comparison is human. Simply pause. Take one slow breath, and instead of asking, "Why am I not there yet?" ask, "What is good about where I am right now?" Maybe you're still learning, still building, still healing, still figuring things out. Maybe this season isn't about arriving. Maybe it's about becoming. Kindness fuels kindness, which fuels kindness. And self-kindness sometimes means allowing another person's life to inspire us, without using it as a weapon against our own. Now let's slow down together. Find a comfortable position, sitting or lying down. If it feels safe, gently close your eyes. Take a slow breath in and gently breathe out. Again, breathing in and breathing out. Allow your shoulders to soften. Relax your forehead. Unclench your jaw. Let your hands rest comfortably. Imagine yourself walking along a peaceful path. Ahead of you, several other paths appear. On one path, someone seems to be moving quickly. On another, someone is already far ahead. Another person seems to be standing still. For a moment, you look toward them. Then gently return your eyes to your own path. Notice what's here: the trees beside you, the flowers growing near your feet, the sunlight ahead, things you would have missed while watching everyone else. Take another slow breath. You don't need to know where anyone else's path leads. You only need to take your next step. Silently repeat, "My life does not need to look like anyone else's. I am allowed to grow at my own pace. I can celebrate others without diminishing myself." Take one more slow breath in and gently breathe out. Rest here for another moment. Trust your path. Trust your pace. Then slowly begin bringing your awareness back to your body. Notice the surface supporting you. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and when you're ready, open your eyes. As part of this week's Softness in Action Challenge, spend a few moments with your journal. Reflect on these questions. Whose life am I most likely to compare mine to? What do I overlook about my own life when I'm focused on someone else's? What is something about my life, exactly as it is today, that I'm grateful for? And perhaps ask yourself one more question. What if I'm not behind it all? Maybe you're simply here, living your particular life, in your particular season, learning what this chapter came to teach you. Before we finish today, I'd love to share another softer story. This one comes from Jenna in Minneapolis, Minnesota. She writes, Dear Mara, last year, one of my closest friends called to tell me she'd gotten a huge promotion. I was genuinely happy for her, but after we hung up, I cried. At the time, I'd stepped away from my career to care for my mother. My friend's life seemed to be moving forward, while mine felt completely paused. I felt ashamed that her good news had made me feel bad about myself. A few weeks later, my mom and I were sitting together, looking through old photographs. She reached over, squeezed my hand, and said, I don't know what I would have done this year without you. Something shifted. I realized I'd been measuring my life using someone else's ruler. My friend was building something beautiful in her career, and I was doing something meaningful too. It just couldn't be listed on a resume. I still catch myself comparing sometimes, but now I try to ask different questions. Instead of, am I keeping up? I ask, am I living according to what matters to me right now? Those are very different questions. With gratitude, Jenna from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Thank you, Jenna, for sharing your beautiful story. I love the idea of measuring our lives with our own ruler, because not everything valuable can be measured in promotions, numbers, milestones, followers, titles, or achievements. Some seasons of our lives are meant for building, some are meant for healing, some are meant for caring for others, some are meant for beginning again. And none of those seasons makes us more or less worthy than anyone else. So today, when you notice yourself looking sideways at someone else's path, gently bring your attention back to your own. Notice what's growing here. Notice how far you've already come. Notice the things in your life that once existed only as hopes. Your life is not a race, and you are not behind. Tomorrow, we'll continue our self-compassion in real-life journey together. Until then, we'd love to hear your story. Has someone ever shown you kindness you'll never forget? Has a simple act of compassion changed the way you see the world? Or has softer inspired you to become a little gentler with yourself or someone else? Share your softer story by emailing us at thesofterpodcast@gmail.com. Your story may be featured in a future episode and could become the encouragement someone else needs to hear. And if these daily moments of reflection are meaningful to you, please take a moment to like, follow, and subscribe to Softer. It helps us reach more hearts and continue to build a kinder, more connected world together. Thank you for listening to Softer. Our music is by Rebecca De La Torre and Thomas Searing. Softer is produced by Michelle Severson. This has been Mara Morales. Carry the softness with you today.